film of a street party to mark VE Day has been uncovered.
It shows families celebrating in Sutton Cold Field at the end of the Second World War. Sarah Falkland has been looking through the rare and priceless footage.
Well, it was a 16mm roll of film, just like this one, which Lindsay Beach found in the attic. And on it, well, it was the street party in Melrose Avenue in Sutton Cold Field in 1945.
Being VE Day celebrations this year, I thought, well, it's just an amazing thing to find this year. Well, it's a fabulous, fabulous film. And to think that it was in colour as well. It shows how people were and how they celebrated. And lit bonfires in the road, and you know, it's a one-off day. They were under rations in those days, and yet the amount of food on that table, I think the fancy dress parade takes a lot of beating for fascinating fun. He doesn't just show you the party, he gives you a bit of what the road looked like, which I find really quite fascinating. Looking at the film last night, all these houses were painted dark brown and dark green, whereas now it's all white and bright and looks so much wider because there's no walls or fences between the properties. It's just so strange to come back and see it all like this. The parents would have loved to have seen it now. It's hard to think of my brother as the little boy in the red cardigan in the high chair. It's wonderful to see him again because he died back in 1986. It is an important piece of social history, the fact that it was the end of the war, and I think it's important that it should be kept properly.
Indeed. Well, with me now is archivist James Patterson. James, how significant is this piece of film?
Well, I think there's two or three things which make this a very, very interesting piece of film. The first thing about it is that it's a very generously shot piece of film. We've got to remember this is wartime. Colour film is very rare at this time. It's very hard to get hold of. The film's beautifully shot, wonderful record of really a very significant event in the lives of the people living in that street at the time. It's a very, very nice example, and if I was still selecting film for the National Archive, I would certainly have been very interested in this piece.
Excellent. Now, presumably other people have got tapes like this and might not even be aware of their significance.
I'm certain that that's the case. People have films, families have films which have been put away in boxes in the loft or just piled up in the shed or in a corner of the garage. And yes, of course these things are hugely significant. You've just seen how nice this piece is, and everybody's sitting fascinated by other people's home movies. And of course the material that you have in your loft is just as interesting.
It's fascinating, James. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Well, there are loads of events across the Midlands if you want to join in the celebrations and commemorations. It's part of the nation's biggest thank you to those who gave us freedom. Well, just a little taster of a few of them. Birmingham is holding parades and a huge city centre street party this Sunday. Droitwich Spa in Worcestershire has 2 days of entertainment, 1940s style, and commemorations, of course, at the National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire. And of course, details of how you can record your memories at bbc.co.uk/WW2.
They were lovely pictures, weren't they?
That film is startling.
Precious, isn't
Wonderful.
it? But it's strange, isn't it? Seeing it in colour, it doesn't make it look quite so old in a strange way.
It's in fact 60 years.
Yeah.